Miami's sky shimmered under the golden sun, its rays bouncing off the crystal blue waters, creating the illusion of millions of floating diamonds. Luxurious yachts lined the marina, painting a scene of opulence reserved only for the city's elite. At a secluded corner of the dock, Malcolm Hayes, a successful tech entrepreneur, stood on the deck of his yacht, Ocean Majesty, quietly observing his surroundings. Today marked an important milestone. He was officially selling the lavish yacht he had owned for the past 5 years. Dressed in a sharp yet casual suit, Malcolm was engaged in conversation with the buyer, Victor Romano, a slick-looking businessman who had brought along his private attorney. Between them, resting on a polished mahogany table, was a stack of legal documents. A sales agreement worth $7.5 million. Malcolm took a deep breath. He no longer needed the yacht. He had decided to use the proceeds to fund a non-profit organization dedicated to helping young black entrepreneurs gain access to technology and business opportunities. But someone was watching him from afar. Linda Monroe, a middle-aged woman with perfectly curled blonde hair, stood on the balcony of her penthouse suite. Her suspicious gaze locked onto Malcolm. Linda had lived in the Crystal Bay Marina for over a decade. To her, this was a place for the right kind of people, those who belonged. A well-dressed black man selling a multi-million-dollar yacht? That didn't sit right with her. He must have stolen it, she muttered under her breath, narrowing her eyes as she watched Malcolm flip through the contract with Victor Romano. Without a second thought, Linda reached for her phone, her fingers flying across the screen. She didn't need to debate. **911 was the answer. **. Telephone receiver 911 operator **. Miami Police Department. What's your emergency? Telephone receiver Linda **. I need to report a theft. There's a black man trying to sell a luxury yacht worth millions. I'm certain he isn't the rightful owner. Telephone receiver operator *. Ma'am, do you have any evidence of this? Telephone receiver Linda *. Evidence? Just look at him. People like him don't own things like that. Telephone receiver operator *. Pausing. Can you describe any suspicious activity? Telephone receiver Linda *. He's selling a yacht. Isn't that suspicious enough? I've lived here for 10 years. I know who belongs here and who doesn't. Telephone receiver operator *. Understood. Mrs. Monroe. We'll dispatch a unit to investigate immediately. ####. Linda hung up the phone, crossing her arms, satisfied with herself. Within 15 minutes, 3 police cars with blaring sirens pulled into the marina. Malcolm was just about to sign the final page of the contract when the sharp wail of sirens broke the calm of the dock. He looked up to see 3 officers stepping out of their vehicles, hands resting on their holsters, walking toward him with serious expressions. The serene atmosphere of the marina shattered in an instant. From her penthouse balcony, Linda smirked in triumph. I knew it, she muttered to herself. One of the officers, Sergeant David Carter, stepped forward. Man Police Officer Sergeant Carter *. Excuse me, sir. We received a report of suspicious activity. Could you please provide proof of ownership for this yacht? Malcolm furrowed his brows but remained composed. He glanced at Victor Romano, the buyer, then turned back to the officers. Memo Malcolm *. What's this about? I'm selling my yacht. Legally, I might add. Man Police Officer Sergeant Carter *. We received a call about a possible theft. Someone claimed you weren't the rightful owner of this yacht. Malcolm let out a short, humorless chuckle. He had seen this situation play out too many times before. Memo Malcolm *. Oh, so let me guess. Because I'm a black man, it's suspicious that I own a yacht? Sergeant Carter hesitated for a moment. We're just following procedure, sir. If you have proper documentation, we'll be on our way. Remaining calm, Malcolm pulled out his ownership documents, registration, and banking records proving he had purchased the yacht 5 years prior. From her spot on the balcony, Linda's smug expression faded as she watched the officers carefully examine Malcolm's paperwork. Realizing that he was, in fact, the legal owner, Man Police Officer Sergeant Carter *. Nodding, everything checks out. Apologies for the inconvenience, Mr. Hayes, but Malcolm wasn't about to let it slide. Fire, he turned and locked eyes with Linda, his gaze piercing from the deck. Memo Malcolm *. Let me guess. You made the call, didn't you? ####. Linda fell silent, her face burning with embarrassment. Memo Malcolm *. You don't know me. You know nothing about me. Yet you decided that I didn't belong here. And for that, you called the police. Linda stammered, scrambling for an excuse. I just thought. Malcolm cut her off. Memo Malcolm asterisk, you didn't think. You acted on your bias. The officers slowly withdrew, but Malcolm wasn't done yet. He pulled a small USB drive from his pocket. Proof of a secret even Linda couldn't have imagined. Standing tall on the deck of his yacht, Malcolm Hayes kept his gaze locked on the woman who had caused it all, Linda Monroe. She remained frozen on her penthouse balcony, but her expression had changed from smug satisfaction to pale, horrified realization. Victor Romano, the yacht's buyer, crossed his arms, watching the officers leave with a raised brow. Memo Victor asterisk, looks like our transaction was interrupted by a case of racial profiling? Memo Malcolm asterisk. Smirking. Just another day in Miami. My friend. He shook his head, still maintaining his calm demeanor. But inside, a quiet rage simmered. She thought he didn't deserve to own this simply because of his skin color? No. Malcolm wasn't going to let this slide. With a slow, deliberate motion, Malcolm pulled a small USB drive from his coat pocket, rolling it between his fingers as if weighing his next move. Victor Romano eyed it curiously. Memo Victor asterisk, what's that? Memo Malcolm asterisk, a gift from the past. Victor frowned. What he didn't know was that Malcolm had found this USB just weeks ago, hidden inside a secret compartment aboard the yacht. Pushpin, the real reason Malcolm was selling the yacht wasn't just about the money. Pushpin, he was trying to rid himself of a part of his past. But that past had left behind a clue he couldn't ignore. Pushpin, and the only person who could help him solve this mystery, was Victor Romano. Malcolm stepped forward, plugging the USB into his laptop. The screen flickered for a moment before displaying a series of encrypted video files. Memo Victor asterisk. Shocked. Wait. What the hell is this? Memo Malcolm asterisk. I'm not sure. But I think it's connected to the previous owner of this yacht. Pushpin, before Malcolm purchased Ocean Majesty, it belonged to a well-known tycoon, Jonathan Whitmore, a powerful figure in the finance industry. Pushpin Whitmore mysteriously disappeared just before Malcolm acquired the yacht. Pushpin, and now, this USB might hold the key to a dark secret. Malcolm clicked on the first video file. Movie camera. The screen flickered to life. The footage was shaky, as if recorded by a hidden camera. On the screen, a group of men in expensive suits sat around the same wooden table where Malcolm and Victor now stood. Pushpin, Malcolm's breath caught in his throat. This was inside the Ocean Majesty. Pushpin, but something was wrong. At the center of the table was none other than Jonathan Whitmore, the yacht's previous owner. Speech balloon Whitmore, in the video, everything is in place. The money has been transferred to an anonymous offshore account. Speech balloon second voice asterisk, are you sure? If they find out we've been laundering money through the global finance system, we're finished. Speech balloon Whitmore asterisk, I covered our tracks well. No one will ever find out. Pushpin, Malcolm stiffened. Pushpin, what the hell was this? Pushpin Whitmore wasn't just a businessman. He had been using the yacht as a laundering hub for an international financial crime syndicate, asterisk asterisk. Movie camera. The video continued. A new figure entered the frame, a man holding a gun. Speech balloon cold voice asterisk, sorry Jonathan, but you've said too much. Pushpin, a gunshot rang out. Pushpin Whitmore slumped forward, blood pooling across the mahogany table. Pushpin, the screen went black. The video ended, asterisk asterisk. Malcolm snapped the laptop shut, turning to face Victor. Memo Malcolm asterisk, what the hell did we just watch? Memo Victor asterisk, takes a deep breath. We just watched a murder. And if this information falls into the wrong hands, we could be the next targets. Linda Monroe, still standing on her balcony, stared down as a chilling realization dawned on her. She had thought she was simply calling the police to stop a suspicious black man from selling a yacht. But now, she had unknowingly helped expose a murder that had been buried for years. Pushpin Linda suddenly felt a cold sweat forming on the back of her neck. Pushpin, she had never imagined she would get tangled in something this big. Pushpin, and if someone found out that she played a role in bringing this to light, would she become the next target? Linda gulped and slowly backed into her apartment. Malcolm kept his eyes locked on the screen. He knew one thing for certain. Someone had killed Jonathan Whitmore. And chances were they were still out there watching asterisk asterisk. The problem was, now they knew the secret was out. Malcolm sat frozen before the laptop, his heart pounding as he replayed the video in his mind. Victor stood beside him, breathing heavily. Memo Victor asterisk, if this video is real, then we just stepped into a hornet's nest. Memo Malcolm asterisk, not by accident. Someone left this USB behind. They wanted someone to find it. Pushpin. The question was, why? Pushpin. And who had executed Jonathan Whitmore? Pushpin. If they were still free, what would happen when they realized this footage had fallen into the wrong hands? Victor let out a sharp exhale and ran a hand through his hair, stress visible on his face. Memo Victor asterisk, we need to go to the cops. Malcolm chuckled coldly. Memo Malcolm asterisk, the cops? And who's to say they're not involved? Victor froze, realizing Malcolm was right. A money laundering operation of this scale couldn't have happened without inside protection. If they handed over this video to the wrong people, chances were they'd end up silenced before the case ever saw the light of day. And then, a subtle movement in the yacht's rearview mirror made Malcolm's blood run cold. Pushpin. Someone was watching them. Malcolm stepped off the yacht, pretending nothing was wrong, but his eyes carefully scanned the marina. Pushpin. Then he saw him. Pushpin. A man in a black suit, wearing dark sunglasses, holding a phone to his ear, standing about 50 meters away. Pushpin. He looked like he was just making a call. But Malcolm knew better. He was waiting for something. Memo Malcolm asterisk, Victor, we need to leave. Now. Memo Victor asterisk furrows his brow. Leave? Go where? Memo Malcolm asterisk, anywhere but here. I think we've just been marked. Victor didn't ask any more questions. He just nodded, and both of them quickly left the marina. Pushpin. Just as they got into the car, they saw the man in black turn and start walking in their direction. Pushpin. Then he pulled out his phone and signaled to someone in the distance. Pushpin. There was more than one person watching them. Fire. Malcolm's SUV roared to life. Fire. In the rearview mirror, two black SUVs also started their engines. Fire. The chase was on. Malcolm gripped the wheel tightly, eyes locked on the road ahead as Victor kept looking over his shoulder. Memo Victor asterisk, shit. They're following us. Pushpin. The two black SUVs sped up, trying to box them in. Pushpin. They weren't planning to let them get far. Fire. Malcolm yanked the wheel hard, taking a dangerous turn that sent the tires screeching against the asphalt. Pushpin. One of the black SUVs couldn't react in time, skidding across the street and slamming into a concrete barrier. Pushpin. The second one stayed on their tail. Memo Victor asterisk, we can't just keep running. There's gotta be a way. Memo Malcolm asterisk, hold on tight. Pushpin. Malcolm jerked the wheel again, swerving onto a narrow side street cutting through an empty neighborhood. Pushpin. The black SUV lost control, flew past the intersection, and Pushpin got T-boned by an oncoming semi-truck. Silence. Fire. They had lost them. Malcolm and Victor drove to an abandoned warehouse, a place Malcolm knew had no security cameras. Both men exhaled deeply, trying to catch their breath. Memo Victor asterisk, what the hell do we do now? Memo Malcolm asterisk, we're past the point of no return. If they know we have this video, they'll come after us again. Pushpin. Malcolm reopened the video, fast-forwarding to the final moments. Pushpin. And then, he noticed something he hadn't seen before. Pushpin. The man who killed Jonathan Whitmore wasn't just anyone. Pushpin. It was the Miami police chief, Richard Donovan. Fire. Both men froze. Fire. The city's police chief was directly involved in a murder and a massive money laundering operation. Fire. This wasn't just a random crime. This was a high-level corruption network, asterisk asterisk. Memo Victor asterisk, were dead men walking. Memo Malcolm asterisk, clenching his fists. No. We're gonna show the world what's really happening. Pushpin. He grabbed his phone and sent the video to a list of investigative journalists and major media outlets. Pushpin. Within 30 minutes, the news had exploded across Miami's biggest networks. Pushpin. Police Chief Richard Donovan was exposed, forced to resign, and immediately placed under investigation. Pushpin. The entire corruption ring started unraveling, and Malcolm finally got justice. Fire. Malcolm's story wasn't just about racial profiling. It was about resilience and fighting for justice. Pushpin. He refused to let anyone define his worth based on prejudice. Pushpin. He refused to be backed into a corner. Pushpin. And most importantly, he wasn't afraid to stand up for the truth. Rocket. What about you? Speech balloon. Have you ever been underestimated because of how you look or where you come from? Speech balloon. If you were in Malcolm's shoes, what would you do? Speech balloon. Do you believe justice always prevails in the end? Pushpin. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Pushpin. Don't forget to like and share if you think someone out there needs to hear this story. Sparkle's justice doesn't come from silence. It comes from those brave enough to speak up. Rocket.